Hi, welcome to We Hate Skill Windows. This is just your normal everyday episode. This time we are covering Superhuman Battlefield. Uh, and I'm here with my co-host, as always, Chris.
Mm.
Um, how to put it? This is like one of those. Well, hold on. This one's unique. You see, in this one, the enemies came from the ground. Uh, It's one of those tropey ones where it's like, one day things showed up from portals and like humans develop powers, yada yada yada. Except instead of like humans or monsters came from portals, it's like humans came from the underground. They were called the burrowers or some shit. Or maybe not, the underground people or something. I
I
don't
think it
remember
is
the
the
name.
Brewers, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know, but like they literally like dug to the surface and attacked. And but it's fine. It basically just makes it so most of the human population unlocks like superpowers ish. And using those superpowers, people go and fight stuff. The main character leads a bunch of battles, and eventually they win. But akin to something like Return of the Disaster Class Hero, the main character is essentially sealed inside the final dungeon. Except he didn't get betrayed. He just sort of like chose to stay there, basically. And like 15 years or wait, like 40 years? Like
17.
15?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was like 15 or like 40 or 50 years. Okay, 15 years later, he like shows up just out of the blue. He's like reverse isekai out of the dungeon into modern society. And he decides to make an esports team. That's basically it. Uh, it's not bad per se. It's interesting. Like, you don't usually get that many where it's like full on esports essentially. When reading through it, I was actually reminded of uh, I'll just say the Chinese title because I can't remember the English one, like Transit also. Uh,
Avatar.
yeah, wait, King's Avatar. Yeah, 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 that one. My brain couldn't think of what it was called in English at least, but yeah, that one. Which is also sort of similar to a few other ones. In particular, I know I can't remember that one's name either. It's like something ball, I thought. But there's one where like straight up Faker from League of Legends, like the esports player, is from like an alternate timeline where Faker's like 40 and in like a high tech world, and he becomes like the headmaster of of an academy. I am not kidding. The guy's name is literally Faker, and he literally looks like Faker. But that one's about esports as well. I just don't remember exactly what it's called. I think Asura had it for a while, but it's on like a large hiatus. But yeah, thoughts on it so far? This one?
Oh, so I think it's like kind of neat. It's it's not like the most plot heavy story ever, and I'm not like super invested in it, but it's kind of fun in a way.
It it's like watching someone play a gotcha game for you. Like he's pulling players.
Pulling players.
He's like, all right, let's just get more applicants. Oh, you've got a cool ability. All right, you can stay on the team. And when everyone else is like, oh, how the fuck you do that? And he's like, oh, I just got good eyes. Yeah, it's not the most entertaining thing in the world. I, it's a complaint I had with King's Avatar as well, actually. Because I read the light novel for it, and then I also watched some of the anime. the light novel for it in particular for King's Avatar, you spend like so many chapters just raiding dungeons or like just playing practice matches or like rookie league matches that you do not give a shit about. And it's like so many chapters spent talking about the strategy of the team and shit. It's like I do not care about this. I care about when something insane happens. I don't really care about the mundane shit. But uh I get it. It's for pacing. It is fair. Uh they did also like in recent chapters be like, "Oh, well, turns out the OP guy is also gonna participate in matches, and that basically means he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone else there, because unlike King's Avatar, whereas in King's Avatar, um, God, I already forgot the main character's name. But whatever, we know the main character, and anyone listening probably knows the main character. So it'll probably be fine. But like in King's Avatar, the main character, his character is like cool, but had to start from like zero. Not here. This guy is literally immortal. He
Literally.
he literally has a skill called
Mm.
immortality, and then he's like basically the most OP human on the planet. I and now he's like, oh yeah, I'll play in the game. Yeah, sure. I no one's gonna stand a fucking chance. Not a single person. But it is what it is. This one sort of got that nationalistic Korean pride in it as well. If you notice, Chris, all that talk about like Korea's
Um,
last and they're losing to France and Germany.
you see, when it comes to like sports, including esports, I don't mind it as much because like that's kind of the big draw with sports.
I I mean, sort of. You don't really see it in esports though, do you? Well, yes and no, I guess.
Mm,
I guess for I'm clouded by League where people just meme about NA will never beat EU, EU will never beat Asia, you know.
mm,
But
no.
maybe there's that sort of nationalistic pride. Maybe. I'm pretty sure in League at least it's like, well, the Koreans are like supreme. The Chinese are also supreme. Maybe NA will get to semifinals.
See, like I kind of like sympathize with them
Uh,
because like America sucks at League.
But like you know, America sucks at League, but also America's really cracked at League, but they just suck on like the global stage. I'm not actually sure how that works. Like they're all still like really insane players. Like you couldn't say like Team Liquid or like TSM is a bad team. But then you look at Korea and you're like, huh, I,
They just
huh,
keep on winning. Yeah,
how do
I
they do
know,
it?
right?
Why are we gonna get
See,
the like fourth Samsung white skin? What, huh? It, I don't really
yeah,
understand.
I'm like, do Koreans really sympathize with this plot still when it comes to esports? Like the esports plot, like they're the top at esports. Like
I
I was sympathizing with it because I'm from America.
because you have an underdog to cheer for, but Koreans are just like, oh my god, SKT, my
Yeah, I'm
best
just like, this
boys,
guy is
Samsung
writing
White,
this,
Samsung Galaxy.
like writing a story about Koreans being bad at esports.
Well, that's this story though.
That's the
This
story. That's
story
what
is
we're
the
reading.
outlier. In this story, Korea's absolute dog shit. They are the dirt tier of esports. And apparently it's because all the Korean players got fed up and just moved to other countries and became players on their teams. Which, you know what? That's fair. That's also like America. Like, if you look at all
Yeah,
the
we hire
high
them on switch
expensive
one.
contracts from like
Yeah,
all the NA teams just hiring Korean players or Chinese players or literally just foreign players in general. Oh,
but
it's
we're
pretty
still
funny.
last.
Yeah,
So
no, they're still
something.
last. They'll like buy like a really insane cracked player from Korea, and then the Korea player will go to NA and then just eat shit. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Why? Why? Why are they still bad? It's like they come to NA and they get nerfed. Like, how does that happen so
The water.
consistently?
Oh no.
It's the water.
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 Must be. Must be the air or something.
The
You get
air.
worse
It's
at.
more polluted. It's saturated with fat and oil or
Yeah.
something.
Unless it's like god dang Counter Strike or Fortnite or some crap, like you get an immediate penalty.
Yeah, if it's a shooter, it seems like American teams are pretty insane. I don't really hear about Korean shooter teams. Though I'm sure there are others. Like I'm certain there's cracked people everywhere, but for some reason League at least is a bad example because League is just primarily Korea, China, and occasionally like maybe Fnatic or something.
Mm.
Or what was that one team like Unicorn something that got pretty far?
Like I have not paid attention to League esports
Oh,
hot
this was
minute.
like 3 years ago or something. There was like some unicorn team from I think EU, I think, that got like pretty far. If I recall correctly, they went to Worlds and got like pretty far as a wild card. So I know that was a thing. And then oh yeah, Fun Plus Phoenix won. That was a sort of
Oh,
upset.
yeah, yeah.
You know, but yeah, at the core, like Asian equal good at esports is usually what it feels like. So the fact that the Asian people are losing, and the fact that all the Asian people are not in fact really Asian looking, all the Koreans have like brown hair in this one, sort of
Some
throwing
Koreans
me
do
off.
have naturally brown hair, actually.
Do they actually? It's not just
Yeah.
like all dyed?
No, some of them actually have naturally brown hair.
How'd that do?
I know, right?
Wait, how? All Asians have black hair. Come on, what sort of genetic hack have they
Right.
done to make themselves brown haired? Fuck, they can like pass for half white or some shit. No, I want that trait. Give me the fusion. Oh, I'll DNA splice myself with a willing white participant. Okay, okay, I'm gonna stop talking.
Ugh,
Yeah, listen, I just want to feel the privilege for one day, okay?
one day.
One day. Just like to walk around and people don't like leave. I still remember during the pandemic, like me going to like a store and all the white people would literally just like walk away from me. And it's like, dude, I'm wearing a mask. You're not wearing a mask. I am probably more protected from myself and from you than you are from me. But yeah, sure, go off. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Ooh.
what can you do? This one's not too terribly racist, honestly. He goes to France and then he meets like these two twins. You see what I'm talking about with the twins? Aren't they cool?
Oh, okay. I actually had met the twins at that point. I didn't understand.
What I
Now,
meant by
now, now
twins.
I know what you meant.
Oh yeah, so for the viewers, I guess, listeners, there are like a pair of twins. They are like bald guys with a lot of rings and like just they look like the personification of greed, essentially. But also they're like fanboys, so they're cool. I don't know. They're fanboys of the main character, and they basically like sabotage him in a successful way. Where he gets paid more every time he uses like their weapons. And also they gave him like a weapon, but it's promo. Everything is promo. That's like, oh, you know what? This is cute. I like that. They were cool characters. I liked it.
Yeah, and they're like they just want to see him be a fighter, so they like
Yeah, they're
try
like
to like
they just want to see their like favorite person fight more.
fight. They're trying to like
It's actually
secretly
quite
get him
wholesome.
as like fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's not the most deep thing. I do like the characters. Like well, the main character is too OP feeling. He's like too OP. And then despite being too OP, he almost lost to the French guy. Which doesn't make too much sense because if he was pinnacle of the world, how did he almost lose? But
Eh,
maybe that guy's just too strong. Maybe, maybe that is just how it goes. But yeah, there's like the main character, there's his team, I guess, but we don't really learn a whole lot about his team. Uh, Plus, esports, but like everyone has their own unique abilities is really hard to. That would be so hard to balance, like IRL.
Yeah.
Like the fact that this guy's team works as it does is already like not quite right.
Huh.
Especially adding himself to the mix. There's a match later on where he plays himself, and he kills all of the enemy team from spawn. Does that sound broken? No? Yes? Probably should be. If I could spawn into a game and kill every single other player in the game without sustaining any damage, people would probably tell me I'm hacking. But he's not hacking, he's just OP. What can you do? But yeah, I don't know if we have a whole lot to talk about for this one. It's just sort of like, it was a fun read. But I also don't really care too much about esports. It probably sounds bad. I really don't though. Like esports is cool, but it's not that cool. So yeah, you want to rate it?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, let's speed run it. We're 16 minutes in. People will get a really short episode this time. All right, let's go with art. Actually, you know what? Art. It's got good art.
It has pretty
It's
good. Yeah, I
got
agree.
pretty good art.
It's pretty amazing, actually.
There were some panels like in the later chapters that I was like, okay, you know what? I like this art. Early on, it's like okay, it's all like this politics shit where like the Korean red house or whatever is like blue house, uh, whatever color house is trying to like recruit them,
Plus,
and there's just like a
yeah.
bunch of mediocre nothings where the guy's just like sitting on a couch all day and like watching reruns of K dramas. But now that he's like, I guess, decided to be a character again, it's actually quite interesting. Uh, yeah, art wise, give it like an 8. It really is not bad. It's not like
Yeah.
insane, I would say, but it's not bad, and it does the hype well.
I I'd probably give it like a 9.
You know what? We'll take a 9. I'm hesitant on giving it something like a 10, unless it's like, whoa,
Unless
no,
they
even
show a really
Rita's
cool panel.
like
Yeah. They have to show something really impressive for me to give it a 10.
for like Barbarian Quest. Now, I'm not even sure if I gave Barbarian Quest a 10 or a 9, but I should have, cuz Barbarian Quest had some like insane panels. Like panels that felt like the artist like put in a good like 20 30 hours on that one panel. That's like admirable to me. And if it can convey
Huh.
like a really deep feeling, that helps as well. Like for example, solo leveling, the art literally like gives me chills. It's
Mhm.
that good.
Or there are some panels that I am the fated villain. Where I'm like, who who hired this person? Why does this have this?
uh, of all the
Oh,
ones. Yeah, you're not wrong though. I'm the Fate of Villain has some insane panels.
insane
I don't know
panels.
why
Oh,
all of the like degenerate artists in Wuxia are all working on I Am the Fate of Villain at once and making a subpar shit plot, but goddamn the art's to die for.
I still remember there's this one golden palace, and they drew like
The actual
every
palace instead
brick.
of like just like 3D
ev-
printing it or something or
Yeah, it was
3D rendering
so
it.
insane. Yeah, it was just insanely detailed. It spanned like a really large portion of the page because it was so detailed and large and oh, frick? I was utterly shocked. I was like, who the frick is out here putting all this time and effort into I am the fated villain?
I mean, surely that thing does well like somewhere. Otherwise, the like all of these have to do sort of well, right? Otherwise, like it wouldn't be out here getting like scanned and translated and all that. You'd think,
That's frick.
right?
Mm.
Unless Asura just picks up random shit. Sometimes I wonder if Asura does just pick up random shit, and then if there's not enough like reader interest, they just drop them. That sort of feels like how it is. Uh, like wouldn't be too surprised. Oh yeah, speaking of art, apparently you did read some of this. Her summon.
Mm. That's a
That
fun
thing's got
one.
insane art.
Mm.
I've never read such a good story that starts out with, by the way, that's because I'm a pedophile. And no, the poor guy. He really did
Poor
like
guy,
some sort of
dude.
Korean pun involving the word pedophile apparently, and then got locked up, or well, locked himself up, I guess.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's living the life I live right now. Except, not really. I don't live with my parents, but I don't leave my apartment either. So, it
Well,
is what
how's
it
she
is.
doing the pandemic?
No one left during the pandemic. No, that's a lie.
Ugh.
I had a roommate who would still leave his room and just go parties. Ah. Wonder actually, if you like did go to a party during the pandemic, would it feel like it was like during like like during like US prohibition? That's such a random thought.
What?
Okay. I might not go too far on this thought. It doesn't make too much sense, I don't think. But like you know how in the during the prohibition like you couldn't drink and so people would like
Yeah.
have to do like clandestine stuff to go to like speakeasies and shit. It was like
Yeah.
feeling like a sense of immorality. Like I'm gonna go and talk to Mr. Brown, and then you like go out and like maneuver yourself to like a coded like door, and you know, was that how it felt like going to a party during the pandemic? No, probably not.
Maybe.
I wouldn't know. I didn't go. I don't know, I was too busy trying my best not to fucking die. And my other roommate was just out here getting like COVID tested every week. And then every time we'd be like, dude, have you gotten tested yet? And he was like, no. And we were like, please get yourself tested. Like, you literally went out 3 nights in a row and you brought people home. And it's like, and then he wouldn't do it. But that's a complaint for another day. That's a complaint that, Chris, you are too familiar with. You should be.
Mm.
You really should be, because the man's name will send you into a hysterics, possibly.
Oh,
But we're not gonna talk about that guy. I'm just a weird bunny on the internet, and you're a frog.
frog.
Or wait, well, you're a cat in a frog costume. Frosh, you
No, I'm a
are.
frog. I'm a frog.
Does Frosh think he's a frog?
Yeah.
Wait, really? That's sort of cute.
No.
I just thought he was like wearing like a onesie to be cute. That sort of explain why he's green, I guess. Ah, fun. Well, the story's not. It. Is the story good?
All right. I mean,
It's not horrible. It's not. uh, Like, I will say, like, not many stories have done this approach.
yeah.
It,
And then,
like, they even hint at the fact that the Burrows are the underground people are actually not dead. So there might actually be a return to like the main plot with the help of his team or something. So it does set up pretty well. I just personally am not that invested in it, but that doesn't mean it's got a bad plot, honestly. I'll give it like I'll give it a 7. Might be too
uh,
high.
uh, I'll I'll give it a 5.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, you know, I kept being like, it's not too bad. And you're like, yeah, it's not that bad. And then I gave it a 7. You're like, huh? I'm like, I'm about to. Oh no.
Uh, no,
Uh,
it wasn't like boring, which was nice.
no, it wasn't. It just feels like it'll probably be fairly repetitive in a way. I don't know. This is again based on King's Avatar for the most part. Because King's Avatar literally had so many chapters dedicated to just the main characters like fighting through the rookie league, like fighting through multiple tournaments. And tournaments are cool and all, but like you don't care about every single team he fights. Or maybe you do, but you probably don't actually. And it got really boring for like some of the teams that he fought. Yeah, but this is also because I read it on I think Wuxia World or something. Uh, but I had to like I could only read 3 chapters a day. So reading those 3 chapters and getting stuck on like nothing happening felt really shit. But thankfully you can just read a mass release or something like this and then wait every week and be disappointed when you realize why am I waiting every week for another chapter of how to live as a villain or
Here's the
whatever.
final boss.
Oh, uh, oh, hmm. Well, it's not the worst thing in the world. Thought it's the final boss. I have been keeping up with it. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'll just keep repeating that. I can't tell you if it's a good thing. It's not a good thing. But it's not like a horrible thing. It's like a very solid 5 out of 10 plot right now. Well, we're on to characters. Hmm. I don't hate the main character.
You know, make it just pretty cool. I think.
You want to talk about the fact that he's a psycho? After
Oh,
reading it all the way through, do you think he's still a psycho though? I
I
feel
mean,
like for some reason he just had a really fucked backstory, but he's honestly like fine.
yeah, he's like a normal person. Well, not okay. I take. I didn't say that.
No. He's a normal person. You said it first.
uh, he's he's definitely.
He's busted. Is the main issue I have with him. All the people who are like OP beyond reason, like Disaster Class Hero. He came back and he immediately like beats up 3 of the other like saints or whatever in this world, and they don't even have like powers that stand up to him at all. But somehow he's now fighting like people in the more recent chapters who can beat him up. And you know what? That's about time. Or stuff like the advanced player of the tutorial tower. For the majority of that plot, and you know, again, recent chapters do sort of challenge that, but at least in that one, for the majority of the chapters that are out right now, the main character is literally like God. He is more OP than anyone else, like in the world, essentially. And when you get to that point, the characters just sort of get boring because you know they're gonna win. You don't care about it anymore. You're just like, well, obviously he will sweep the competition. Like, did you really think in this one at least, like the national Korea team would stand a fucking chance against him? Not by any chance. He's literally the savior of the world. Did you think you could beat that? No. The answer is no. And I get it that you sort of need that sort of OP sort of character if, you know, for the sake of this sort of plot, but I sort of wish he wasn't so maxed out. But I don't think that detracts too much because I like the esports players. I mean, we don't really know anything about them right now. They're all sort of just playing in a way.
They don't do anything besides fight in the esports games usually.
Yeah, we don't get to
You
see
don't
like
really see them.
development outside of it, which is unfortunate.
Uh,
The only development we got was he like tossed that one shadow guy into a cave for 10 days and was like, "Hey, survive. No cheating." Didn't really explain that one, really. How'd the guy survive for 10 days and like we didn't see any scenes of him like hunting or eating food? Is everyone just here
yeah.
made out of like pure chi and willpower? I heavily doubt it. The guy's an esport player. How is he gonna survive on like daydreams and exposure or something, you know? Doesn't happen.
He ate
But
thoughts and prayers of his teammates.
yeah, he ate his hopes and dreams. Just sustained himself on
Uh,
empty thoughts, eating them, chewing them endlessly, like mindless, like not real cotton candy or something.
I was
There
looking
was that
like,
one book I read. Okay, this is a really weird thing to tangent into. There's that. You know what? I'll try anyway. I don't know if you read this book. It would have been probably around middle school to possibly high school, but probably middle school. There was like a book I read. May have been part of a series, but there was like a character who could make like fake food appear. I don't know if you what were you like a big reader back then?
yo,
Do you remember any scene from some book where there was like it was like something about probably like a more futuristic setting, but there was either a machine or like someone who could literally just like make food, but it was all fake.
it's like sounding vaguely familiar.
I I know it exists. I might go and look it up after this recording, but I don't really know where that's from. Well, that's a thing. If anyone's 32 minutes into this podcast and wants to tell me where that's from, please comment down below. Because I don't know where it's from. But that was a cool book. I don't even know what the tangent was about anymore. Oh, yeah, because of the air shit. Eating air. Yeah. If I got thrown into a cave for 10 days and was told, hey, survive, and also come back out with your ability better, I would probably just die. They'd find me 10 days later, just dead in the cave. There would be no.
Oh,
There would be nothing to that. Uh, I mean, maybe if I had, like, provisions on me. But I don't think the guy had provisions on him. He literally just survived through, like, hopes and dreams, thoughts and prayers, you know?
guess all
Uh,
he really needed was water.
I don't even think he had water, though.
Yeah.
He literally just got tossed into a pit and was told, hey, cultivate, fucker. Like,
You're
that's
right.
basically what it was. We'll give the characters a 7.
Mm.
And let it be known that a large part of that 7 is the draw of the twins, the bald twins. They're very funny. I like them.
Sounds good. The author is so tasteful with his
Tasteful.
characters. Yeah, like none of them are like annoying.
You know, that's well, it's the like chairman's son or
Oh,
grandson or
that's
whatever.
true. Yeah.
But he's not a main character, so we don't really see him. But you're right. Like none of the main characters are annoying.
Like the author chose the
And the
characters very
abilities
well.
that the people have are actually quite cool. Like
Yeah.
I would never have thought of making a character whose abilities are to like pass on aura and to transport items 3 feet or something. That's not something I would have thought about, especially not in an esports sense. So the fact that that's a thing is pretty cool. I mean, a lot of people could think of uses for like someone who can just like have high stamina or like slip into the shadows or something. But it sort of reminds me of my school life as a useless person, pretending to be a useless person, where despite, that world having abilities, the abilities actually feel very refreshingly unique. As in, like, all of the people from his school, his seniors and stuff, they have abilities, but they're not just like, oh, I get super strength. I get, spikes when I flex my muscles. No, it's like very specific, interesting stuff. Like, you know, I can always grab this person if you are within range or something like that. Like,
Hmm.
that's cool. I like that sort of like uniqueness to an ability. It's also like the stuff you see in like Bungo Stray Dogs as well, for example. I just like those sort of
The
like
trade offs
more
are
like
whack.
poetic, cool abilities rather than the just generic, you know,
Super strength,
yeah, like,
super speed.
my hero sort of, these guys are the heroes and they have these abilities and like it works for my hero because that's literally what it's supposed to be. But a lot of the other like webtoons with this sort of premise also just sort of feed into that. Like
Hmm.
a lot of them are just like, oh, this is this character. She has the power of the Holy Paladin. That's it. And this one can summon fireballs. Like that's their entire gimmick, and it's a very like overused, saturated market to find someone else who can just summon fireballs. But if you're looking for someone who can like even the sort of annoying guy in school life, the one his ability is to like unearth stuff or something. I don't know if you remember the one I'm
Yeah,
talking
he
about.
can
It's
pull up
like
anything from the
yeah,
ground.
it's a really cool way to explain it though. Like it's not that he can just like grab shit and throw it because that's essentially what he does. But yeah, he can like unearth things and then use them as weapons or something. It's not really explained exactly what it does, but it's definitely very cool to see
Wait,
that sort of like vague, abstract
yeah.
ability being applied to then the plotline. I don't know. I do personally
Like
think
they're
it's
all
very
powers
cool.
defined by like a sentence rule rather
Yes,
than
they
like
have
super strength.
restrictions essentially. Like the girl with armor as well. She can block any attack as long as she believes that she can block it. Like that's a lot cooler than just I have a suit of armor that protects me. I feel like that's personally speaking that makes it a lot cooler.
Or, what's that one guy who's like, if he says something, it makes him feel like that much heavier. So he just like eats food to make himself feel better, some crap.
Wait, wasn't it if he places his
Er,
hand on you, you become heavier?
Oh, frick, I don't remember the
It's
rule.
I don't remember that one either. It's fine. This isn't even the episode for that. Why are we
Oh
so
yeah.
invested in this? What would you like to rate the characters?
Oh, like a six. Like I feel like
Six
we
it
haven't
is.
seen that much of the. The author hasn't gone too deep into any characters but the main character, and I don't think he ever will.
Yeah, they're sort of not the main focus. Even the former friend, coach, head coach of the national team. I don't think he'll show
Fading
up a whole
slowly.
lot after this point on.
Yeah.
He's just sort of like another side character at this point. I mean, it's fair in a way. It's not the most fair thing in the world. Well, apparently today we're just being simple with it. We get a whole solid number. It's just a 7 out of 10,
Holy frick.
which like rarely happens apparently, I think.
Yeah.
But
Let's go.
hey, here we are. Wow. I think most of our ratings are just 7 out of 10s. It definitely feels like it's always a 7 point something. So, you know what?
When
Fair
we
enough.
first started, we were giving things like 5 point something, 4
Yeah,
point
what
something.
happened? What happened?
I think we started to realize how cruel that was.
I think we also sort of realized that, in fact, a lot of these just have good art. Because the
Yeah.
art score definitely always bumps things up like way high. Also, though,
Like the
we didn't discuss this. This thing has skill windows, doesn't it? Or
Oh
wait,
yeah.
well, do they have skill
Kind
windows?
of.
Only the main character has
It's
skill windows?
not really a skill window, but it kind of is.
Only the main
But at the
character
same
can
time,
see skill windows, I think.
yeah.
Everyone else. Well, no.
But it's like,
Surely everyone else has some, like, gauge of their abilities, though, right?
yeah. They have
Like, they
the
do
power
know
scanner.
roughly. Oh, they do have a power scanner. You're right.
Yeah. So they have the esports measure, but then
Gotcha.
the
Yeah,
main
and then
character
this guy
has
just
the
has, like, Shinigami eyes and
scanner
can
eyes.
see through shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not like
okay. You know
quite
what?
like a
That's not that
skill
bad.
window, but it's yeah.
Yeah, it's like a one-sided skill window. That's not the worst. For a brief second, though, I was fooled and I thought that everyone has skill windows, and I was gonna be like, do we want to talk about that? Technically, this is called We Hate Skill Windows. Surely we hate skill windows, but we haven't actually hated any skill windows so far. Uh,
We've hit it a
we've hit it
couple, I
on
think.
certain aspects of skill windows,
Yeah.
such as like buying food from skill windows that you don't see again.
Oh my, I hate freaking what's
Faded
the
Villain.
Minecraft?
Oh,
Hate
dungeon
villain.
reset,
No. Is it really? Oh yeah.
right? The one with the
Dungeon
rabbit.
reset. Yeah. Oh my god, I cannot believe he tried to Minecraft someone to death. Oh,
Oh, that was like the best part. Just the
oh my
prelude of
god,
him like shoving dirt into his inventory.
Corey. Oh my god, it was not worth it. I
It's
didn't need to
really
see such
funny.
a stupid power. Oh,
That's someone who got a unique power, but like too stupid of a unique power. Also, not that unique if you think about it. It's just Minecraft. But I mean, it's sort of unique in a way. I mean, like, you don't usually
I
see that sort
didn't
of
like it.
ability. I,
Oh, it felt
if you think about it,
so.
though, it really is just a inventory. He just has the ability
Yeah.
of the gamer. If we're talking about the gamer, that somehow manages to slip into a lot of episodes. The
I
gamer,
think
if you're on wondering, in webtoons, is a webcomic with the guy who has the abilities of a gamer. Literally has like skill window pop-ups in a inventory, and that guy. I might have to revisit. Maybe the art's gotten way better on the gamer since I last saw it. But I remember the gamer having like questionable art at the time. But I was
yeah,
reading
it's
it
like
in like 2015 though. But you know, you
it's
look at
like
Tower of
both of us.
God and you see how well Tower of God has improved, like genuinely so. So
Yeah.
maybe. Guess we'll see. But that is about it. What do you want to review next?
You choose. You choose.
Oh no. Don't want to choose. I don't know. Should we do a good one? We should do a good one.
Sure.
All right, we're doing a good
What's,
one.
what's a
Everyone,
good
we're doing a good one. We're doing Reaper of the Drifting Moon.
one? Oh, okay.
We're doing a quote good one. uh, whether or not it's actually good is, well, yeah, I guess we'll talk about that. It's got good
Okay.
art though. This one is like at least a 9 out of 10 on art. It's
I
got
agree.
incredible art. Whether or
I
not
think
the
it's still
story or
be.
the characters are great, I am.
We'll
Well, we'll
see.
see. We'll see how far the R score carries this one, but maybe another read through will help me out, you know?
I should
But
probably
yeah.
read it from the beginning again so I
Yeah,
can
no,
experience.
for sure. I want to see all the pain and trauma again. That'll really help me feel better. But for now, this is the end of this review. Uh, yeah, I guess I should say something like to this extent. If you're still watching at this point, thank you for watching, and also like subscribe to the channel or something, and press the bell icon if you want to, but only if you want to. If you don't want to, you can just go on your merry day and not give a shit. Yeah, haha. If you have any shows you want to do,
No.
no, you don't want to tell them to like smash the like button. No, come on, gotta
As
be
you
like
said that.
stereotypical YouTubers, right?
No, no. ProZD says you should do that type of stuff. I don't know, actually.
Wait, does he?
He just kind of makes fun. He's got like those skit videos where he's like,
I
I
mean,
wish.
I'm not saying this actually say smash the like button like unironically though.
Yeah,
So I
that's
could
true.
try to. Like, if you
Please
enjoyed this
smash
video,
the
then please
like
feel free to
button.
leave a like on the video, smash that like button, and
Comment down below.
kick the subscribe button as hard as you beat your children as an Asian parent, or you know.
Oh,
That's probably pretty cruel. Oh boy. All right. We'll see you in the next one though.